Okay, guys, today we are going to talk about one of the strangest houses in America. A mansion that had staircases that led to nowhere, doors that opened into walls, and windows that would overlook other rooms instead of the outside world. And it was all designed for ghosts. Yep, this is the story of Sarah Winchester, the widow of the man behind the Winchester rifle, a gun that famously became known as the gun that won the West. Sarah Winchester was born Sarah Lockwood Pardee around 1840 in Connecticut. She was intelligent, cultured, and came from a well-off family. In her 20s, she married William Wirt Winchester. That's a tongue twister there. William Wirt Winchester, the heir to the Winchester Repeating Arms Company. Together, they had a daughter named Annie. But tragedy came hard and fast. Their baby girl died when she was just a few weeks old from a rare disease called marasmus. Basically, her body couldn't absorb nutrients. The loss broke Sarah's heart. And a few years later, her husband William died of tuberculosis. Within a short time, Sarah had lost both her child and her husband. She inherited a fortune, around $20 million at the time, which would be hundreds of millions today, plus 50% ownership of the Winchester Company. That also meant she received about $1,000 a day in royalties from the rifles. That's like $30,000 a day today. So yeah, she was rich, but she was also alone. Now this is where it starts to get weird, of course. After William's death, Sarah reportedly began to believe that her family was cursed. Of course she would. She lost both her husband and daughter in within a couple of years. And she thought she was cursed by countless souls killed by the Winchester rifle. And according to the legend, she went to a spiritual medium, in Boston looking for answers. The medium supposedly told her that the spirits of those killed by the rifles were angry and haunting her, and the only way to protect herself, the medium said, was to move west and build a house that the spirits could never finish, a house that would confuse them and contain them. And the medium added one important rule: as long as you continue building, you will live. Stop and you will die. Jeez. So Sarah picked up her life and headed west to California, where she bought an 8-room farmhouse in San Jose in 1886. And then she started to build. And build. And build. For the next 38 years, the construction never stopped. Day and night, carpenters worked around the clock, hammering, sawing, nailing, adding room after room, staircase after staircase, window after window, and the result? A sprawling mansion that grew to 7 stories high, covering 24,000 square feet with more than 160 rooms, 47 fireplaces, 40 staircases, 13 bathrooms, and 2,000 doors. Only 13 bathrooms to 160 rooms? That's not a great ratio there. See, there was room for improvement. And it wasn't just big, it was weird. There were doors that opened to sheer drops outside, staircases that led straight into the ceiling, windows installed on the floor, and beautiful Tiffany stained windows placed on an interior wall where no sunlight could ever touch it. What a waste. It's said that Sarah designed the home to confuse the spirits. Some people believe she had nightly seances in a special room, summoning the dead for instructions on how to keep building. She never had blueprints. She never hired an architect. She reportedly would sketch her ideas on scraps of paper and napkins and just hand them to the foreman in the morning. Workers said she often changed her mind mid-project, tearing down what she had just built, but the work never stopped. When the 1906 San Francisco earthquake struck, parts of the mansion collapsed, including the top 3 floors. Most people would have taken that as a sign to stop, but not Sarah. She sailed off the ruined areas and just kept right on building. Neighbors thought she was eccentric. Some said she was insane. Oh, that's a shocker. Others swore she was haunted. They had seen ghostly figures wandering the gardens or lights flickering in the windows long after midnight. Sarah rarely spoke to outsiders, and she never confirmed any of the ghost stories about her. She spent most of her time dressed in black, living quietly among the never-ending construction, with her servants and the workers are the only people that were allowed near her. She died peacefully in her sleep in 1922 at the age of 83. And when the builders were told to stop working, legend says the sound of hammering stopped all at once. After 38 years of constant construction, silence. And when people started exploring the mansion after her death, they were shocked at what they found. Secret passages, trap doors, rooms sealed off for no apparent reason, and a floor plan so confusing you could walk in circles for hours. Today, the Winchester Mystery House is one of the most famous haunted locations in the United States. Visitors claim to feel cold spots, hear footsteps, or see doorknobs turning on their own. Some say they've seen Sarah herself, still wandering the halls, inspecting the house she could never finish. Was Sarah Winchester haunted by guilt, by ghosts, or just by grief? We'll probably never know, but one thing's for sure, she built one of the most mysterious and unsettling homes in the world. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and follow Think Snack for more creepy true stories every day this October, and more. And tell me in the comments, if you inherited Sarah Winchester's fortune, would you build a mansion for ghosts too, or would you run far, far away? Let me know. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.